apical stop preparation is a heinous example of a technique designed, I think, by a machinist or somebody who was trained as a machinist, but not in an organic multiplanar curvature of canals. So let's get all set up and get this case finished. Where's my glasses? I'm going to put the cones back in and take another radiograph, make sure they fit the length. When I was just new in the biz, I would have trouble fitting cones because I didn't use EDTA. And I would say to myself, well, I can't fit it to length. I'm going to shove it to length. I'll pump sealer there. Never happened. I found that if I didn't fit to length and cut back from there, I could not guarantee my apical accuracy. So some of these things you can blow by and do really fast. That's one I would, that and taking another cone fit film. It's kind of a luxury, but I do it because I like them to turn out just right. Let's get a little bit of final irrigation here. Any questions about the, oh, look at that. It's still foaming a little bit. That's nice. Those are scrubbing bubbles. Did you do, how much of this did you do?
This is the second syringe.
Okay, so you did it most of the time while?
Yeah.
Can you hold that? I want to give him a mirror shot of this. Let's see if I can get you a decent mirror shot. Okay, yeah, this is what I want to see. Okay. Also, don't take as many paper points to dry the root canals after you use suction on it. Okay, we got the long lens on there now. I've heard a rumor that they have objectives that are variable. Okay, let's put the cones back in, take one more radiograph. Huh? And I have to refit the mesobuccal. Right. So irritated.
Are we done with this stuff?
We are done with that. Okay. Do you have the gutta-percha cones? Yeah. Thank you, Radar. Did you ever see the TV show MASH? In the sidekick Radar, he would say, "Radar, can you give me?" And he would hand it to him. Your assistant, that's when they know what they're doing. Okay, might need a little bit more hemostasis, but we're okay for this second. Let's see if I can get this thing fit. I'm sorry, I botched it.
¿Está bien?
She's good?
Yeah.
Great. Awesome patient. Fantastico. Is that Mexican? A Spanish word? No. Okay. It should be. It should be. I'm speaking Spanglish. Okay, our length in that canal was 19 and a half.
MB 19 and a half.
Okay. I also make her laugh when I go, that's no bueno. She goes, that's not correct. It's like, I know.
Es que me hace reír con la palabra que suena suena.
If you want to stiffen your gutta-percha cone up, get an alcohol gauze, wave it in the breeze to chill it off a little bit, and it will be a little bit tougher. Ah, dang. No, I just need to get this little guy to behave. There we go. Lift tongue.
Hace la
Lift.
lengua.
Okay, lift it.
Levante la lengua
Okay,
siempre para
relax
abajo.
it. Great.
Relájela.
Close down.
Muerde un poco. No se mueva.
Okay, I need to take a different angle.
¿Y otra vez? Lo mismo, por favor. Abre, no muerde.
Okay, can you click past I'm going to adjust the distal. I'm worried about the mesial
Do you want me to put
buckle. Huh? No, actually, pardon?
that- Do you want me to put both images together?
Yes, please, that'd be great. Okay, first thing I'm going to do is this thing is about, it's a quarter long to a half long, so I'm going to cut it back 3/4 at least.
Abre. Abre grande. Muerde. Ok. Está bien así.
Okay, it's actually very close to 21 and a half, so not surprising that it would be a taste long. Here is length, and here's another half. Put that little pup back in there and take one more radiograph. This one's going to be straight on because I think it's going to show both the apices perfectly with that curve in there.
Relaje.
Okay, distal's perfect. Let's take an angle view. I think I'm short in one of the canals. Okay, so that was a distal view. This is the mesial buccal. The mesial buccal is the mesial buccal is this root here, and it looks like we are. Let me take one more view. Sorry.
Otra vez.
There we go. Okay. Darn mesial buckle. I still need to cut it back. Distal looks perfect. This guy's a little short. Okay. Love the distal. Mesial buckle just needs a little haircut. Okay, mesial buckle length was 19 and a half.
Mesial buckle, yes.
Okay, so not surprising, it's actually right at length, so we're going to cut it back another half. All right, MB is done. Let's see if I can, if the length is wrong, I think this is short. I have a couple of options. I can actually confirm length with the paper point, but I think I got that thing buckled. Yep. No. No. Let's see what it measures. This was 19 millimeters in this canal. Yeah, I'm 1.5 millimeters short. I don't know what I did to it. Can I have another cone? I think I dinged it. Hmm?
No se mueve. Abre y mueve su lengua. Okay.
Great. So I'm a half long. I need to be 1 millimeter shorter than that. That's perfect. Okay. Go ahead and pinch the cone right there so we know we're back to where we need to be.
So what do you suspect happened that one was short all of a sudden?
I think I buckled the tip of the cone.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay, I'm at 19 and a half. Yep, that's a half long. So I need to be 1 millimeter short of that. Here's 18 and a half. Okay. All right, we're all set to go. It's helpful to cut the butt ends off because they just get in the way. Is this EDTA?
Yes.
Okay, final rinse with EDTA. We're going to have to dry that up in the mesial. Do you have a hemostatic?
Mm-hmm.
The other option is you can just put some ferric sulfate in there. Yeah, let's not suction it. Here's the little fuzzy tip. We wouldn't do this in aesthetic areas. It really does torque the tissue. Shot. Yeah, wash, please. Good. That's good. Turn to the right. right a little bit, right there. Okay, let's dry the distal canal and cement the cone. Is there a little side opening over there? There's another little opening into it. Hold this a sec. I'm gonna blow a little air through that pulp chamber. Hold it that way. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, and I can use these paper points as my final length confirmation. They will dry to length typically. Have a little bit of, let's put a little hemostatic. I'm just putting a little bit of this on my paper point. Great, there we go. All right, now we should be able to confirm length. Oops, need a new glove. This is, it's blotting to 21 millimeters. It's exactly the new length. It's a little short now. Okay, I'll take the sealer. Okay, bioceramic sealer, we don't coat the cone as we did with pulp canal sealer. We fill the root canal and put the cone through it. Why? Because just empirically, it seems to work better with fewer voids that way. Here comes the distal canal cone. Nice, we're seeing it come up through the mesial. Not surprising we have a bleeding distal canal because it was vital, right? The mesial canal was necrotic. Our length in the mesiolingual canal is 19 millimeters. Touch the end, the wet part bends. The dry part is right there. A little bit longer than that. That's why I had to refit the cone, I guess. Here we go. Do not lock the needle in there. You don't want to propel a ton of this stuff out. Oh, I got to get a new glove. Yeah, okay. Sorry. Let me just get these things. Hmm?
Can I get a cotton plier back?
Yeah. I got them all, don't I? Every single one of them. Okay, so you need 6. If you're going to do molars, you need 6 cotton locking pliers. 2 for your assistant, 4 for you. 1 for each of the cones, because do you want to go find that thing rolling across the countertop? Probably not. do you want to make sure you can't grab this thing when she lets go so it doesn't flip out of there altogether? Yeah. Locking pliers. You need them. The only problem is you got to make sure your patients don't steal them. Teenagers love them as roach clips. I saw a kid on the street with it on his collar and he had a roach hanging there. It's like, well, you know, it makes you forgetful. Maybe you don't lose your joint. I don't know. But you just keep an eye peeled. That's all. Okay. And the Mesi buckle.
Did I take an image?
I'd love to take an image. That'd be so cool.
Yeah, me lo terminamos.
You don't pump the sealer in and out?
Let's see what it looks like without. Yeah, that's pretty much filled. I think there might be an accessory canal here, or I locked the needle a little bit in the canal. Let's go ahead and obturate. I've got a little sealer puff there. I don't care. When I see her in 3 months, it'll be gone.
Fine. Does it?
Yes.
¿Está bien?
This is a 0.7 millimeter plugger. Firm condensation stroke on it.
¿Quiere agua? ¿Necesita agua? Está bien. ¿Mande? I think she needs water.
Yep.
Déjale poquita agua. Abre su boca. Déjale agua. Toma. Poquito más. Yes. ¿Está bien? Yeah.
Put the cotton or bite block back
Abre.
in.
Grande. Muerda. Abre. Muerda. Okay.
Great, perfect right there.
Manténgase así. Muy bien.
This is the new cordless elements-free unit from Kerr. I'm going to drop down to a 0.6 now that we're making these shapes smaller. I'm using smaller pluggers. Okay, let's sear these guys off. It looks a little out of focus to me. How about to you?
Yeah.
There we go. Firm condensation stroke. I'm going to do a down pack. Could I have an 08?
Yeah.
I'm going to do a down pack in these two canals because there's a big possibility of an isthmus there, and so I need more lateral movement. Just cementing this cone in the distal, if there's a lateral canal there, it would have been obturated just by the placement of the cone.
You get
Really?
that one.
Huh?
Another OA.
Yeah. Huh? I'm using an 08 because I only want to go to mid-root.
So, coming back to 60.
I'm going to put a backfill plug in, cone in here and another one in here. Okay, backfill cones. They are the same exact size as the pluggers. So if I pull my plugger out and leave all the gutta-percha there, then I can use these little guys. Let's compare these. Here we go. Same size. Tip diameter is 0.5 millimeters. If we look in there, we can see we have a perfect impression of the plugger in both of these. This is a no miss. You can never get a backfilling void with this technique, and it costs pennies instead of $4. Okay. 8.
Sorry.
Hmm?
Did you add sealer there?
Yeah, I did. I think we're good. Okay, and I tell my patients I'm going to put a firm condensation stroke here. Fold the gutta-percha down into the canal. You want it ahead of the plugger, and then you're going to do a 10-second sustained condensation stroke. Gutta-percha moves really slowly. It actually moved during that condensation stroke at least a millimeter. Okay. Can you grab these cones?
Yes. Turned up.
I forgot to look at the pulp chamber. Oh, almost filled. There's a little bit of a void there. Heater.
Ready.
Is it 0.7?
Yes.
Great. Okay, now I'm going to be finishing up here. I'm going to start pushing this material ahead of the plugger, scraping down the canal walls. It's easier to, if you need to remove gutta-percha, it's easier to shove it to the end of the prep or the canal and take it out than it is to try and scrape it off the canal walls. It's really frustrating because you're almost always going to have a void. You know what, I'm going to cut that out. I'd rather have something bonded down in there. The edge of the plugger is pretty good at cutting the stuff if you move it sideways from the orifice.
Is it off the frame?
It's too hot, sorry. There we go, now I've got an orifice by itself. That's what I'm looking for, okay? There we go. Got some sealer in the isthmus, that's always a good sign. So we don't want gutta-percha in the pulp chamber. I don't even want it within a millimeter or two of the pulp chamber floor. Yeah.
Abra, por favor. Mueve su lengua a la izquierda y relájela. Ah, ok.
All right. Let's get an angled view. That's a really good straight-on view. You can see those are sealer puffs. A distal view for molars is always best angle. Great. Okay, we're going to see what happened in between here. It looks like there's a little bit of filling material, sealer, but it's a good seal. We have no voids. We're going to go ahead and clean the pulp chamber and get some bonded material to cover that stuff up. Can I have an alcohol cotton pellet?
Need another one on there.
Yeah. Air dry, please. Once you clean a pulp chamber with abrasion, it's like wrecks you because it's just so perfect. I realized after like almost 40 years, I had never seen a clean pulp chamber before. I never knew. John Coyce got me turned on to this. You have to be really careful to not get your mirrors in the way. Okay, that is looking not quite ready. Okay. $70 plugger?
7.
7-0. Flowable. I'm sorry, adhesive. Let's etch it, even though we sandblasted it. Kind of that plugger again?
70.
Yeah. The flatter you can get it, the less like you're going to have a little void there. Make sure you thin it so you don't have a big radiolucency there. Okay. And we're going to use a curing light that's about the intensity of the sun. This is a plasma arc. If you guys do, how many hours a day do you do bonding materials? Okay. You guys don't have this? I'm an endodontist. Like, if it's a 5-second cure instead of a 20-second cure. That's like at least $250,000 before you get done with your career because you had the wrong light. So let's get efficient on that one. Denmat makes this guy, I love it. Okay. We're going to use flowable dual cure buildup material. Hmm? Yes, please cover that. This is Anchor by Apex. Look at that. I'm getting it to come out other parts of. And that bleedy thing, I should have fixed that. It's really flowable. With dual cure, you're going to have the best set with the least amount of shrinkage if you get it 40 seconds to do its chemical cure, and then you follow that with.
Can I take the shoe?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You're at 10.
Hmm?
You're at 10 RPM.
No wonder nothing's happening. That's too fast. How about a happy medium here? This is a really long burr. I probably long chucked it. Carves nicely. Just started using the Anchor. It'll be interesting to see how dense it is with a radiograph. Then this is a build-up for a crown.
Canal.
I want to add some there. Let's take a radiograph to see what we got left in the mesial. So do you love the Nomad or what? Yeah. Okay. Nice. Look at that. I got that whole thing filled. That's nice and dense. I'm worried about that, so I'm going to adjust that. Or actually, I'm going to prep that off. And that concludes our case today. Let's get an angled view. Another advantage of having this three-tooth slit dam situation is that I don't have a rubber dam clamp in the way. It's huge. So there we are. Round of applause for the patient. Oh, I love you. Okay, so why don't you guys head back? I'm going to get her all tuned up. We're going to take a 40 by 40. I'll bring you over a couple of still images. It's 4:30. You got half hour to goof around until it's beer 30, and then we have a little reception. Hmm? I'm going to cut the distal contact, I think. Will she get a crown on this?
Yes, va a haber una corona ahí en ese diente, ¿verdad? Yes.
Like soon?
¿Qué tan rápido lo va a hacer?
Within 2 months.
En 2 meses, entre 2 meses, es recomendable que haga una corona.
Oh, bueno.
O antes.
Oh, antes. Okay.
Okay. So no vaya a morder nada